from,
right? My husband and my 3 children are the light of my life.
Is I'm going to ask a series of questions. Some of the same things, some things might be similar, right? Because there are fundamentals in the network business, right? Network marketing has some basic fundamentals. Now, how these pros approach those fundamentals, there might be some little nuances. So you have to pay attention because it may sound like it's the same, but if you're paying attention, you'll catch that little nuance to the fundamental of our business, okay? So, let's see. I have to have my notes because between the scripts and rehearsals and where am I supposed to be? I have to have notes. So, let's get started with our favorite products, right? It's really, our passion for Avon is basically what it has gotten us here. We like something about Avon. So let's just, to get started, let's just go down the line and what's your favorite product, Jennifer?
Well, I don't know if you guys saw me on stage yesterday, but that was a little sneak peek to the answer to this question today. So fundraisers, and especially the Herbie the Hedgehog and Finley the Fox plush, is my favorite product to actually open doors with customers. And I love our Love at First Lash Mascara.
Awesome. Well, we need a glitter one now.
Yes, we do.
We need a glitter one.
The glimmer shadows are a good start.
Okay, all right. Very good, very good. Anna, tell us, what is your favorite product and what allows you to open doors with it?
Definitely lipsticks. I think if anyone has never tried Avon in the past, a lipstick is what's going to get them to open to you. Something I used to do when my kids were little, I would have like a little basket of our lipstick samples because everybody remembers the lipstick samples from some point in their life, right? Their grandma, their mom, somebody had those. So even when I was shyer to approach people directly, if I had this little basket of samples and a little card on the top that said free lipstick, ladies would approach me. So then that would be a way for me to start the conversation. Do they have a representative? Are they looking for one? Do they like a brochure? The opportunity, all that could follow just from the lipstick samples.
Lipsticks. Excellent, excellent. Well, I don't know. I think I can guess, but I'm not sure. Anne, what is your favorite product to open doors?
I'm not sure. What is it?
It's fashionista.
Exactly. Mine would be the fashion. I think fashion is fun. You can express yourself through fashion. And ours, it's like a doorway. It opens up doors when you're walking out with clothes, your clothes on, and someone stops you and they're like, what is that? What an easy conversation starter that is. You can start talking about Avon and they're like, really? That's Avon? I didn't know that Avon had clothes. Well, here, let me give you a brochure. Or, hey, here's my website or my card. Check it out. Let's connect. But that's really why I'm sure you guys have seen our Facebook Lives with Natasha Leitner and myself. And it's also about having fun with the products. You need to have fun, find something that you're passionate about, and just go with it because it's so much fun and we can reach an audience, especially on Facebook when we do our lives. It's not just the representatives and we love helping all of you, but it's really just us having fun and we're reaching other people that may not be our customers yet.
Okay, so that sounds a little bit more of like a lifestyle networking, right? Being the sample, I had someone in another class say, I don't give samples, I am the sample. And I network because I am the sample. I'm always educating and it always helps to strike up a conversation. So that's what sounds very similar to that.
And I just want to say too, when I walk into a room anywhere I'm at, people know me, they're like, is that Avon? And I'm like, yes it is. So you definitely need to brand yourself because when you want someone to see you, you want them to think of Avon.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. And besides bronzer, we know you can't live without your bronzer, all right? What would be another Avon product that might even help you open doors?
So the product that helps me open doors is the Hydrofusion line. I love that line. I have very sensitive skin and it's just so hydrating and oily, and it's crazy because people sometimes they ask me, they tell me that it's too, they think that it's not going to be good for their skin, and it really is. It's It's like amazing. So I am my own sample. I use all the Hydrofusion line. And what I like to do is I like to keep little samples in my bag of the own product that I have. And then I just give it out to all my friends. And I've got a lot of sales.
Excellent, excellent. Now, Andreas, since you sell so much makeup, what makeup product is it?
No, so I actually don't have a specific one favorite product from Avon. I try to, when I'm talking to someone, look at them and see what they have. For example, if they have, I'm just gonna use a woman as an example because there's more women here. But I would say, all those are really nice earrings. We also sell those, and so I just try to look at the person and see what they're wearing or what they have on, or even if they have on really nice makeup. I actually do ask where they get their makeup from or how much they pay for it, and then I go on from there. So each conversation is different, but just looking at the person and seeing what they're wearing.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you. So, what we also heard from another panelist is that when we asked her what product was her favorite products, it ended up being that was actually what they sold the most. Do you feel that you sell your fair share? Your sales are in blush, I would imagine, is your fair share?
Yeah, definitely. The majority of my sales are in the plush, and I was able to use the plush to advance very quickly within the company, Honor Society after just 5 months this year. But when you take advantage of opportunities that Avon gives you, like double dollars, and you have an ongoing fundraiser, it allows you to open doors that you might not otherwise be able to open. So it's important to always know what opportunities Avon has available to you.
Right, absolutely. And really, not just knowing them, but actually putting them into use. Would you say, Autumn, that you do your fair share of business in color and lipsticks?
Actually, I think it's the first order is typically in lipstick or makeup, but my majority of my sales is skincare.
Excellent.
I also love the Hydrofusion too. It's amazing, especially the new 1.5. If you guys haven't tried it, you have to try it. But it's a good segue because the lipstick opens the door, and then you can share with them the greatness of everything else we have.
Right. And I guess where I was getting to is usually we gravitate as people, whether it doesn't matter the business, just as people, we normally gravitate towards what we're confident with, right? So if we have a comfort with the blush because we have an ultimate goal fundraiser, or be it we're opening the door with a lipstick, that's usually where our confidence comes from. So really knowing your favorite product and really being passionate about that product will actually give you the confidence to then make those connections and take those further steps. So that's why we started with what is their favorite product, because it is so important in that networking piece and so important in starting those conversations in networking, be it social or not, right? So let's see, Ann, how do you leverage testimonials from customers? Facebook posts and features, how do you do that? Because I understand you actually have steps.
Yes, I actually do.
You have steps. So tell us, don't you want to know?
Well, obviously, I ask, right? I ask them to, I ask about the product. I follow up with all of my customers. You have to follow up on your orders to get orders, right? Why not follow up after they purchase the product and ask them if they liked it? Because then what you're going to do is, you like that product. Would you mind maybe posting that on Facebook or Instagram? And sometimes they're comfortable, sometimes they're not, and that's fine. If they say no, you say, would you mind if I used your testimonial and I would post it? And then that's kind of the steps that I go through. And I always even throw in, hey, I always offer them a little gift or something just simply to thank them for giving me their feedback. And then what I do is I listen to what they're saying, and then I take that information and I share it with my other customers, and it also helps me get new customers.
Excellent. Andreas, how do you leverage those testimonies from your customers? Do you utilize them with Facebook, or do you post anything or anywhere else?
So I also use this app called WhatsApp. Our community is very big on Hispanic, so we use that a lot. and I try to do the same thing what Ann said, just asking for those pictures if they're comfortable, and then I'll send it into the group my customer group, and I'll do that. Another thing that me and Valeryn started doing was copying on Avon. You know how people can leave a review? Well, I just take screenshots and I like to send that in to the group as well, and so people can see other customers from around the country, what they're liking, what they're using, and their reviews are.
Okay, that's fantastic. So, here's a couple of things, right? The Facebook post asking them whether they do it themselves or whether you do it. WhatsApp, we don't hear very much about it, okay? But it is a tool, it's there. And quite frankly, utilizing Avon U as copying and reposting things that are there. And, Susie felt this way, or John liked this. Those are all tools there for you. Yeah, absolutely.
Something else is people like to feel wanted, or asking them, say, can I feature you on my customer page with your review? And then they're like, wow, you want to feature me? So they're more apt to give you that review, and you're going to put their picture if they'll let you, and it makes them feel a part of something a little better than just you want a review from them. You're featuring them.
That's fantastic. And when you think of maybe a concept of, be your own Yelp, right? Be your own Yelp, and asking for those reviews, that does put a little twist on it. Because I think that those are like paid ads that they push forward, right? That they push up in Yelp, right? And you as your own business owner, you can do it yourself by just featuring them. And that does sound special. That does sound special. Thank you for that. Jennifer, I think that you also had some ways that you also leverage your customer testimonials. Can you share?
I also, like Ann, ask my customers to share on Facebook and tag me in the post. But there's also an amazing resource on our e-store. Because when you can figure out what the benefit is for your customer or for the person that you're asking to refer, it's more likely to happen and it's more likely to be successful to you. On our e-store, there's the Refer a Friend tool, where when your customer refers a friend and that friend makes a purchase, that customer that did the referring will receive 10% off of their next order and free shipping. And the customer will receive free shipping with a $25 order. So I like using that tool to help my customers refer friends.
Okay, well, we're going to pause right here a second. How many know that tool's there? Okay. Now, you know it's there. How many of us are actually using it? Because I know it's there. I haven't used it. Okay? All right. So here's a great opportunity. A tip from a pro. Use it. Use it today. When you go and sit down at lunch and you're chatting, say, hey, look, I'm going to just do a refer a friend here with a couple of customers and see if I can get some. Go ahead and use it. What's the worst they're going to say? No, I don't want 10% off.
What if you were the friend doing the referring from your own e-store as well?
Well, what if you were?
Well then, if you placed an additional order from your own e-store, you then would receive 10% off of that order, and you could give your customers free shipping as well. And who doesn't love a coupon code in here? Like, I love coupon codes.
I love coupons. Like, I don't shop at Kohl's until they send me a coupon. Right? I mean, is everybody else like that? Like, if you don't send it to me, I'm like, oh, right? Excellent, excellent. So, what community networking opportunities have you found to best connect your business? And Ann, I'm going to start with you because this is like your jam. So share.
Okay, yes. So I think the common word up here that we've talked about really is passion. You need to find your passion. And my passion is really helping others, and I love the cause and the connection, the partnership that we have with the American Cancer Society and the Making Strides. walks across the United States. I'm extremely active in that. Actually, when I get back from Repfest, I am hosting a golf outing to help raise funds for the Making Strides. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to go out into my community and ask for, you know, donations, because I do have like auction off gift baskets. I also donate my own bug guard to all of the golfers, and I make bags for them. I put samples in there. I also reach out to my networking groups and ask them to donate things and help them advertise their business. It's really about helping others. And it's really my passion, and we've, Natasha Leitner and I are also very active with our local chapter of the American Cancer Society, and we are helping them host the first inaugural survivor luncheon. And that's coming up as well, and we're gonna be donating gifts to all of those survivors. What we're doing for getting the word out, how awesome Avon is, you know, with helping other people. And I think that's really what you need to tap into, is find something that you can tap into and that you're passionate about and get out into your community.
But you know what? That kind of sounded like, wait, what? She hosts golf tournaments? Well, I've been with Avon now for like 4 months. I've been hosting a golf tournament. I don't even know how to play golf. I don't even know where, well, yeah, I think I know where the golf course is. How does, like, what would be the first step? That sounds kind of like, wow, didn't it, right? Right? But what would be like the first step to doing something like that?
There is a little backstory. My husband actually helps out a lot with this. He had hosted. You got to make connections, right?
Okay,
You got to use the resources you have. But this is actually the 10th year we've had this, but we've done other fundraising before I even started Avon. But it was kind of a drawing. You kind of have to build it up. You know, when he really just started, maybe it was 50 people, and he would invite all of his friends that he worked with, and everyone was like, okay, yeah, I can do that. And that's kind of how it got started. And once I started with Avon, I did do the Avon 39 walk in New York, and we had to raise those funds. And I just did that golf outing and raised what I needed there, far above that. So it's really about taking the steps and using your connections.
Excellent, excellent. Now, Valeryn, what do you do with community networking opportunities? How have you found it best to connect within the community?
Well, mine's a little simpler. I like to use Instagram. I love Instagram, so most of my friends are all on Instagram. So I love to post about my day-to-day. I love for them to know that, like, to interact with me. I love to comment on their posts. And I love the stories, the little IG stories, because on those you can like post every single day. And that's where I mostly post all of my Avon, everything that I do with Avon. I post them on the IG story because in 24 hours they delete. And then next morning I'm there again with another post with Avon. So it doesn't get too tiring and boring as if you were like post them on your page and they're like, oh, if you go to Valeryn's page, it's all Avon. Well, it's not. Like, most of my Avon posts are family posts about myself, my husband, and my kid. And then on the IG, I connect with people with Avon, and I use my testimonies, my friend testimonies, and I post about all my customers there.
Excellent, excellent. So, do you see how networking like a pro takes on different meanings, takes on different paths? It's really a journey, right? It's really, really a journey. So, Autumn, tell us, how is it that you do your community networking opportunities? What do you see, and how have you found best to make those connections?
Mine's a bit more basic than Anne's as well, but mine is just, you know, starting with having little kids. You know, you're in mom's clubs, you're in preschools, they're growing up, they're in sports. All the different activities that you're already doing are different networks. So everywhere you're going, you're not going there with the intent to sell to people, but you're around that group, you get to know them, and don't just sit at the baseball practice on your phone. You know? Use that time to actually get to know the people that are in your circle. You have the commonality of whatever you're already at, you know. So it's just I think we've forgotten that part with technology, that a lot of times we're just consumed with our phone rather than looking up and looking at the people around us. So that's still so important.
It's so true, so true. And you know what? I think that sometimes the phone can even become like my noonie. I don't, like a blankie.
Yeah.
My niece called it a noonie, so I just call it a noonie. But it becomes that security blanket.
Yeah.
Right? Because technology has made the world smaller. And I don't know how many of you remember, or maybe all of you remember, I don't know. But I remember going up to my first door and knocking on the door. And I'm knocking on the door, and the whole time I'm knocking on the door, don't answer, don't answer, don't answer, don't answer, don't answer. Right? 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 Yeah. Own it. Okay. So, you know why I own it? I own it because then that shows growth. Right? I can look back where I started to where I am. That's just growth. So I do own it. And I think that don't open. The phone has now become that don't open,
Well,
right?
Yeah, most people will answer your text message, but they won't answer the phone. So they'll watch the phone ring and then text you, oh, sorry, I missed your call.
I'm at the ball game, and here's moms. I don't want to talk to them about Avon. I'm just going to pretend that I'm on my phone, because what would I say? I don't even know it. They probably don't even use Avon. They probably don't even like it. Ooh, she's got one of those Louis Vuitton bags. She probably's not going to even buy Avon. I don't know. And this becomes the don't open.
Yeah.
Right? Right? So network like a pro. Sit it down, say hello, right? Make those connections. And those connections aren't just a cha-ching, right?
Right, you have to start with the relationship in anything. So you can't just dive into, hi, I sell Avon, you want my brochure? It's not about that. You have to just get to know people, and we have to go back to that in-person getting to know people again, I think.
I agree. Because I think that, to your point, they either don't answer and they text you back, right? Or we just use it as our noonie to not have to actually make that connection. So great. Now, this is just a little fun, and I'm going to start on the other end, because you know how you have like husband and wife teams, like with opposing teams, like one likes one rival football team and the other one likes the other rival football team, kind of thing. So Andreas, we've already heard that Valeryn likes Instagram. That's like her jam. What do you like?
So I'm very I feel more connected on Facebook, just because I've had it for so long. I have a lot of friends that I was in high school with, and later on in college with, and people that I just don't see much, and I just have a large following on Facebook. So I've noticed that I've had a lot more interaction on there. And then one of the ways I'm leveraging that is, just trying to connect with them still. If I notice that it's someone's birthday, even though I haven't seen them in 5-6 years, it's very important to always just say happy birthday, congratulations if, they're kids, or something happened in their life that was successful, a new job or something. And then I just noticed that that's how I'm keeping connected with people, even though I don't see them every day. So that's something that I recommend to do.
And Jennifer, do you have a preference? Instagram, Snapchat, or Facebook?
I prefer Facebook, but I am developing a new love for Pinterest as well. Anybody else get lost in Pinterest?
Okay, all right, nothing wrong with that. Now, how do you see it helping in expanding your community as a networker and growing your business?
So for Facebook, I actually use Facebook as a way to connect with people, but not be overly salesy. Hey, have you seen an Avon brochure? Do you want an Avon brochure? You want to buy Avon? Hey, this is awesome.
Hey, they're not great. It's just wonderful. I just think
Avon. What I like to do is I like to make connections on Facebook by reaching out to 5 people a day and not saying a single thing about Avon. I like to comment on a post with a compliment. Something like, you look beautiful in that dress. It has to be genuine, and you don't want to have an ulterior motive.
I pick 5 people a day to comment on a post or like their post, or even send them a message and just start a conversation. And the conversation is not, do you want to buy Avon? It's something like, hey, I see you're in Columbus. I see there's a great children's museum there. Have you been there? And it just initiates the conversation with them. And then what that does is, with Facebook algorithms, it will bring your posts about Avon up into their news feeds. So you don't have to be sales all the time. And you just made them feel super good about themselves. So what do you think that they're going to do when they see your post?
Love it. Excellent, excellent. So, now this is the second time we've heard that there's steps, right? And the thing about steps or processes is that they build consistency, right? Consistencies create habits, and habits create that excellence. So, 5 people a day, I assume that they're random, or you just pick 5 every day and you say something to them.
I look through my list and look for people that I haven't connected with recently.
Excellent, excellent. That's very, very strong. And that ties back to 5 people a day, 5 days a week, right? To constantly make those connections. But to your point, they really have to be genuine. If you don't like the way she looks in the dress, please don't say that she looks nice in the dress. Say she has a beautiful smile and leave the dress out of the conversation. Be genuine, be real. Be very real. Okay, so speaking to the audience today, what is the first thing you would recommend they do to expand their network, Autumn? I know, just because you were looking at me, I did that because I had you laugh.
I also agree with Jennifer about building relationships the same as we do in person, the same way on Facebook like that. So that's something that's really helped grow my connections on Facebook, is trying to find my customers that are on Facebook, or even leads that I get. I try to find them, because even if they don't connect immediately, you start seeing them in your feed. You do the same thing. You connect on the, hey, how's it going? Or I've been to that, the same things. And you build that relationship with them. So eventually they come back. So I actually got an idea from the local pizza place. We order online pizza, okay? Everything's online these days. But they have your email. And I got an email from them that said, let's connect. And it had all their social media links and their email, every way to connect with them. And it was so easy just to click on Facebook, and now I'm connected to the pizza place on Facebook. And I thought, why am I not doing that to my own list? So everybody that I have an email address in my web office got an email that said, are we connected on social media? Here's my Facebook, here's my Facebook business page, here's my Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, all of it. And if they're on any of those social medias, they can click it and we can connect, and that starts the relationship building.
Excellent, excellent. And I mean, it's so easy.
Yeah.
It just doesn't occur to us.
I didn't necessarily need to be connected to the pizza place, but it was, I'm like, okay.
All right. What about you, Ann?
I would recommend that you go do something to get out of your comfort zone, because that's going to be the first step. Pick up one of these tips and go out and just start a conversation with somebody. As a representative, you got to think that you're a problem solver. That's what we are. Go out in the community like I'm doing, go out in the community. I want to help raise money. I want to stop breast cancer. And you can get involved with so many different organizations, or just talking to your neighbor and helping them with something. You never know what kind of products they might need to help them feel good. Or maybe they want to, join you on your team. They need something to do. But like we have all said here, don't be salesy. Take an interest in them, ask questions, and figure out how you can help them.
Absolutely, absolutely. So true. I love that. We're problem solvers, right? Because that's what our products do. They solve a problem. right? That's the benefit. So well said, well said. Now, let me ask, do any of you use hashtags?
Yes.
Okay, all right, because how, and I know that's not one of the questions, but it hasn't come up. I thought it would have come up in your conversation with this. So Valeryn, all of a sudden you stepped up and you sat up, and so let's hear, how are you using hashtags, or what is the importance of utilizing hashtags and expanding your community?
So now on Instagram, I've noticed that every time you use a hashtag, they'll send you a whole page of people that have used the same hashtag. And you can even follow that hashtag. So I think it's now that it's appearing on other people's page, what I try to do is I go into, there's an app actually, I don't remember the name of it. I think it was Natasha that mentioned it, if I'm not mistaken. And there's an app that you go in, I think it's called hashtags, and you put beauty, and then a bunch of hashtags. So they'll do it for you. You don't even have to think of what hashtag should I put for this. So if you put beauty, or you put jewelry, and there's a bunch of hashtags that come up, and all I do is just copy and paste to them. And then I know it's gonna appear on everybody else's Instagram, like Valeryn, or this person just hashtag this. Do you want to follow? So that's what I've been doing.
Excellent, excellent. And then those people end up following you, finding you, right?
So I've had a lot of sales from that, and it's random people that just followed me from a hashtag, or just because somebody mentioned me on something.
Right?
Hashtags seem to work best on Instagram, not so much on Facebook, but that's where people that, like she was saying, they can follow a hashtag, or even in reverse, I can do a search for hashtag liquid lipsticks, and I can see everybody else that has posted about it, and then I can do the same thing, go to their page, and now I'm gonna like something on theirs, and then I don't know about you, but when someone likes something on mine, I go and see who is this and what's on their page. So now you're piquing an interest in them, they're gonna come back and check out your page, and then you get this banter back and forth, and then they either they'll follow you, or you'll follow them, whatever. It's just the start of the relationship building, and then we can start that communication.
And thus increasing your network, right?
Exactly.
Because unless you would have walked past them on your walks,
Yes.
right? or literally crossed paths with them, you might not have otherwise known this person. So it's a way to be able to expand your network like never before. And I want to tell you, they are multilingual. So for our bilingual representatives in the room, or for our multilingual representatives in the room, hashtag in that language. The hashtags aren't just in English. So you can hashtag in Spanish, you can hashtag in German, you can hashtag birds of a feather flock together. We're the original OG, you know what I'm saying? Right? So birds of a feather flock together. You can also hashtag communities, because we have interests. I don't have twins, but let's say I did, right? If your parents have twins, I'm thinking there's a thing there. I don't know what it would be, because I'm not a twin, or I have parents of a twin, but I'm thinking there's a thing, right? Little nuances or what have you. They like to dress alike, they don't like to dress alike, I don't know. They fight, they don't fight, I don't know. But I'm thinking that there's a community, twin moms, right? So now all of a sudden, Anne is now connected to people that she otherwise wouldn't have met, but they have something in common. So to expand your network, I think all of our pros would agree, use the hashtags that speak to who you genuinely are, what your interests are, and something that if you met another golfer, or if you met someone else that liked quilting, or if you met, someone said farmers, I want to be a farmer. If you met farmers, whatever it is, that's the commonality. That's going to be the conversation starter. So you don't have to take out the noonie and go, oh my God, don't talk to me, don't talk to me, don't talk to me, don't talk to me, don't talk to me. Okay, but that'll be your connection. That'll be what you have in common to get that conversation started. Anyone else use hashtags in any different way, or you want to share a story on hashtags?
I was actually scared to death of hashtags until about 6 months ago.
Good, tell us that. Who else is afraid of hashtags? Yes, so tell us, help us with that.
I literally had no idea what a hashtag was, what it was for, and I just thought it was like people just telling funny jokes.
Haha, hashtag.
Hashtag haha.
LOL, hashtag.
So, but what I found out when I just stepped out of my comfort zone and started getting on Instagram and started using them is that Instagram does the work for you. If you type a hashtag in, and that's just the number symbol if anybody here doesn't know, it will start giving you recommendations. So if I type in hashtag beauty, it'll say hashtag beauty lover, hashtag bold lip, or it might not say bold lip, bold light, but it'll say something that starts with beauty. So you can just go down that list and pick what you're looking for. So now I'm not afraid of hashtags anymore.
Good for you. I'm glad that you got over that.
I have one little tip. I have one little tip.
Yeah,
so I do
no,
use them to do that, right? But I was looking at this YouTube video, and they say that you do that, and then you pick the one that has the least like people on it, because they're gonna find you easier than imagine having like a million of the same hashtags. You're gonna be like all the way at the bottom. So you have to put like, when you hashtag Avon, and it's like a bunch of stuff, you'll find the one that has the less hashtags. And then you tag yourself on that one, because when people want to click on that, you're going to come up. Not like a bunch of other people, and then you're like all the way in the bottom.
So, but we're going to be a little bit more strategic, okay? Because I think that statement was a pretty broad statement, right? Because I too at one time was afraid of hashtags. So we're going to talk to the people that weren't afraid of hashtags. Okay, when we say the least doesn't mean like one other person.
No.
Okay, well, we want to.
It usually has like
it
a
just be
thousand.
you and one person. So the least might be, I don't know, what's the
Maybe
least?
like 1,000 hashtags
people,
instead of the
right?
million one.
Instead of, because to your point, you'll be found, right? You'll stand out. Your odds are better. It's like the lottery. The chances of one of us winning the lottery is like 1 in a bazillion. But if I had a sweepstakes with the 5 of them, it would be 1 in 5 chance of them winning the lottery. We get it right.
Yeah, you don't want to use a hashtag that someone's not searching for. So you don't want to have this, like, I see some people do a long sentence of a hashtag. No one's ever going to find you with that. So it has to be something that's, you know, like Valeryn was saying, like at least 1,000 people have put in, but you're going to come up in that search if you have one that's easier to find.
Now, I did run into a family that does that. And they do that, no, that's because they live all over the world. And it's like, no, because really, our family is the only one that uses that so that they all know.
Yeah, and that serves
that serves that purpose. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so Jennifer, we heard from you on how to make new connections without it being too salesy. And you know what? No, I want to jump over because I thought this was a great story. Andreas, tell me about an experience you had when you tried to make a connection and it didn't quite go as planned. You have a great analogy on that.
So I try to not let that bother me too much, having bad experiences, you know, just try to move on to the next person. There's so much people in this world. But something that I remember, that a story that someone told me was, there was a waiter at a restaurant, and at the end of the meal that she was given to her customers, she asked if they wanted dessert, and the lady had told her no. And she just moved on to that didn't block her mind and say, I'm not going to ask everyone else that comes in if they want a piece of this dessert, the cake that was made, the famous cake. It just meant that lady told her no because, you know, she was on a diet that month or whatever, so it wasn't for her in that moment. And so I just like that example a lot. So I think of it when people say no to me, you know, it might just be no right now. It's not no forever, but it just wasn't for them at that moment. I just move on to the next person.
Absolutely. And for you, it's all about timing, isn't it?
It is. So often, it's just all about timing for the person. You know, when we're approaching people, a lot of times it's all about us. Like, I need a new recruit so that I can go to Mexico, and I need to hit this sales goal. You guys know what I'm talking about.
We're going with our own agenda. We're going with our own agenda.
But really, it's about their timing. And do I have time to tell a little story?
Very good. I'm watching the time.
Okay.
I got my watch.
So in November of last year, I was super excited because I
thought about somebody that would be like the best Avon representative. She has a large network of friends, and she talks to everybody that she meets and just has a bubbly personality. And can you believe she told me no? Like flat out no. And I said, okay, but I want to go to Mexico.
Didn't mean a thing to her.
Yeah.
Imagine.
So in November, it was a flat out no. So I didn't really give up on it, but I stopped talking to her about it. I reached out to her husband instead. So we work in the same building, and he was asking me about how we are able to go on so many vacations. And I mentioned to him that my Avon business pays for all of my family vacations for us. And he also mentioned like that the clothing that I was wearing was very modest. And I said, well, this is Avon. And I said, I reached out to Dreama about selling Avon, and she told me no. He's like, give me a book, let me talk to her.
See, if it has to do with trips.
So then come about 4 months later from when I originally approached her and was told flat out no, she joined Avon and now has 5 recruits under her.
Wow. Excellent, excellent. So before we go on to the last question, and it's just going to kind of be like the first one that we're going to go all around, is there anything, panel, that you wanted to add as you were sitting there thinking, oh, I should have shared this with them? Is there anything, Andreas, that you would like to add for them at all? I don't think it's in your notes. I'm making this up.
No, I think the main thing is just being consistent. You know, don't worry too much about what other people think about you, or being afraid or being too shy. I've learned this from my mom, and she's very, you're not. I mean, people say, try to find the right moment, but there's so many people in the world. You just gotta keep going. You never know. People get you out surprised all the time. Oh, she looks like very serious. She doesn't look friendly, and they're actually very nice people. So just try and always have a book with you, or sharing that link with you, and just being open to everyone.
Valeryn.
And just for me, it's just like to be yourself. Like, you just have to be yourself, and people like it. Just try to smile. Like my father-in-law, he's always so happy, and people always want to be around him. Like, they want to buy from him, even just a lipstick. Just they buy it for him because he's just so nice and like happy. So just be yourself. Surround yourself with people that like want to be around you, and just talk to people. Step out of your comfort zone and talk to anybody, even if they look serious or they're like on their phone. Just try to find a conversation.
Excellent. Anything else you would like to add?
I would say be consistent. All of us have talked about using social media, and this is something I hear, from my team too, is why aren't people commenting on my posts, or why aren't they doing this? And I know we all experience that, but if you're consistent and you keep doing that, people are watching. They're just not commenting. They're just stalkers, okay? Let's be real, right? So honestly, I have made sales. I've had people come up to me at school functions and say, that cream you posted, I want that.
And you're like,
I'm like, well, why didn't you comment on it? Like that cream. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be consistent. Keep going. There was a time early on when I was like, this isn't working. And I'm sure all of you have probably had that thought go through your head. But I just encourage you to not give up. Keep pushing. Use all these tips that we are giving you, and take one. Don't take them all and get overwhelmed. Pick one and then build off of that.
Well, going off of the same thing about posting consistently, we want to be posting content that is helpful. We don't want to just go through Avon Social and post product. I was sharing with the group at breakfast this morning. They're on our websites as a customer. You can view articles or blog posts that Avon puts out for us, and they can be like, last week I did one that was talking about bug guard and the benefits of each one, but it was presented in an article, not just a product post. And that got so much more engagement because people had to click on the post to read the article. And what that does is, the more engagement you get on a post, the more it shows up in the feed. So that's what you want. And that's all available to everybody. You just go on to your website and click on where it says articles, and you can pick whatever you want to promote or something that you feel will be helpful. So Bead Summer, Bug Guard, it talked about all the benefits, and that was helpful to a customer who then might come back and say, I need that, rather than just seeing a picture of the product.
That's excellent. Yes, yes, yes. How many of us knew that we had articles that we could do that with? Okay? So, like, I don't know, 20 people in a room of like 200. So, there's a great opportunity and a way for you to grow your business. Excellent.
There's also tutorials out there too that I like to share because everybody nowadays seems to want to know how to contour their face. And the tutorial that Avon has on contouring your face is actually a really good one because it's not geared toward just the younger generation. It's teaching us how to lift up your face. So I need that. I don't know if anybody else here needs that. But.
I'm waiting for the one on how to lift up my chin.
It's on there.
No, I didn't. That's bad for me. Bad Yvonne.
But one more thing with that, the tutorials are in the same area like the articles, but they have, if anybody clicks on those, it goes to your site from that link. So then they can click right over to the product from that article or the tutorial.
And they'll be shopping your e-store.
Yes.
Good stuff, good stuff. Well, I think we're coming right at our time, but I've been taking some notes. So for those of you that haven't been taking some notes, I just want to share my takeaways from this amazing panel. Okay, so first, your favorite product will open doors. And it allows you then to make connections towards other things, right? Be your own Yelp. Ask for those referrals. If your customer doesn't want to do it themselves, ask if you can do it and use them as the example. Find your passion. Find your passion. Because that's going to allow you and help you make connections. Remember? Birds of a feather flock together for us OGs, right? All right. And most importantly, we've heard it over and over again. Step out of that comfort zone. Let go of that nudie. Okay? Right? And it's all about timing. And the only way you're really going to know that it's all about timing is for you to be consistent. If you're not consistent, you'll never know that it was about timing because you stopped, right? And well, with all of this, it has been absolutely fabulous. I would like us to stand and give this amazing panel a big round of applause.